it got to a point where I didn't feel like I was playing with players of my caliber.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wednesday Night Playbook. I'm your host, Antoine Miller. Last week we went over the flex offense. You know, an offense that can really help an offense that struggles to score because of the motion, because of the continuity, and because of the confusion in it. This week we're gonna go over horns. Okay? Horns is a great offense to manipulate the defense. All right, it starts out high, elbow or elbow line extended, and you can get a lot of things on the backside of it to get to the lane, to get to the layup. But more importantly, you can pull a lot of bigs out. You can pull the defense out in it. If you got a stretch four or a big that can really create for itself and create for others, I would highly recommend this offense. All right, highly recommend this offense. But we're just gonna go over a couple things that I like to do out of it. I'm gonna go over an offensive concept to it, a continuity kind of concept, and then I'm gonna go over just certain things that I like to do out of it. All right, just to catch the defense off guard. But it's a trillion things you can do with this offense. A trillion things you can do with this offense. I'm only gonna give you a couple. So let's get to it. So first, again, I like running things that I can make. I want everything to look the same out of one concept, right? So we talking about horns, all right? So if you look at horns, it looks like this, okay? You got just whoever. I only put these positions here because, you know, just for the sake of structure, you know, you still need structure. I know it's positionless basketball nowadays, you know, it's not really positions at all, but you still need structures, especially when you're dealing with young kids, all right, so they can remember things. So either whether it's a numbers system, whether it's position system, you got to come up with that yourself as a coach. But just for the sake of this, I'm doing position. All right, so the small forward and the shooting guards, they're on the wings, spread out. The PF in the center, they're either at the elbow or their elbow line extended. All right, it depends on you how you want to run the play. All right, so I'm gonna just go over the continuity. Will work for me as far as horns. I'm gonna go over that first. All right, so this is the offense. All right, the PG has the basketball. Let's say you start the offense by passing to the center. Now, you can do this two ways. You can have this small forward and the shooting guard just sitting here, just waiting for the play to develop. But from my experiences, against good defenses, that don't work. All right, because a good defense will just sit in this gap. Right, so you start horns by giving to the power forward or the center, and if this person that's guarding the shooting guard or the small forward is sitting in this gap, obviously is nowhere to pass the center. They can shoot that gap and get that ball. All right, so what I'm saying that to say is you might want to start with doing some type of exchange with this small forward and shooting guard just to confuse the defense a little bit. All right, so what I'm saying is the PG got the basketball. Maybe you start with this small forward going through. All right, maybe the shooting guard going through just to start the offense initially, okay? Because you want the defense moving a little bit, all right? We know that it's just a decoy and it's just confusion to get into what we want to get, but the defense don't know that, right? The defense don't know that, all right? So you just want to manipulate the defense. That's really what it's all about, manipulating the defense to get what you want to get offensively, all right? All right, so just to say that, all right, you use that if you want or if you don't want. Okay, so let's say they exchange the start. All right, now you give to, let's say you give to the center at the high post. All right, how this starts is the PF comes and set this flare for the PG who comes out here. Okay, I'm telling you, not enough people are using flares and flare screens. I'm telling you, it works because defenses have systems and they got schemes that they got rules to their defense. Let's say that, forget it. They got rules to their defense. All right, so they're not used to seeing that, a back screen, okay? Do I switch it? I'm not supposed to switch. Do I hedge it? Like, what do I do with it, okay? So use flare screens more in your offense, okay? I'm just letting y'all know. Okay, so while that's happening, the small forward is going through. Okay, the small forward is going through. Okay, center gives to the PG off of the flare from the PF. Okay, now a couple times, because again, defense is not used to seeing flare screens, this PG will come off and he'll be able to attack, or he'll be able to shoot the basketball. All right, but let's say for the sake of going through this play, he's not open. All right, he just receives the basketball and that's it for the sake of this play. All right, so again, the PF set this back screen for the PG. He came off, the small forward went through. All right, so now the PG is out here with the basketball off of the flare. Okay, PF set that. Now the small forward is down here. Okay, PG has the option to either shoot again, or he attacks the lane to the right, or he isolation. Okay, but if he doesn't have that, the PF and the center come down, set this double screen to come up. All right, now again, you'll get that a couple times a game. If you run it precisely, and if these guys are players or whatever like that, this point guard with the basketball, you'll get that. You'll get that. You'll get this 3 right here for a shot. You'll get that a couple times a game. All right, but let's say you don't get it. All right, again, me personally, I'm running this because I want the defense just to see my continuity offense so I can set them up for something else. Even if I don't get a score out of it, I'm cool with it, right? But let's say you do. PG is the first option off of that flare. All right, after that, the second option is this double screen in the middle for the 3, okay? But let's say you didn't get it. That's cool. That's cool. And this is where a lot of coaches go wrong, right? They'll run this play, and then I see it all the time. He won't have an open shot, and all the players just stop. And that tells me right there the coach don't know what else to do. He ran that play. He didn't have a counter to the counter to the counter. All right, you got to have continuity in your plays just as well as your offense. You can't just run a play and you don't have an option, and now what? We just got to reset? No, we got to go into something else. All right, I see that all the time from coaches. You got to get better in that. Whether it's a pick and roll, whether it's a loop action, whether it's a down screen, something. All right, you can't just have your kids stagnant like that, because a good coach is going to be able to scheme for that and stop it. And now what? We got to reset. Nobody got time for all that. All right, so let's say this small forward got the ball right here and he didn't have anything. Cool, what else would you do? Me personally, I like setting this double screen for the small forward. So give the small forward an option, right? Give the small forward an option. He could go off any screen that he want. Okay, let's say he went to the center side. Cool. All right, go to the center side. If he could turn this corner and go, cool. If he can't, center. Dive to the basket. Make sure you're using your inside pivot to roll to the basket. All right, after the screen. Power forward pop. All right, now this action is what I love the best. All right, so the center comes off. The PF pops. The small forward comes off. The center dives. The PF pops. So now it looks like this. Let's say he didn't have anything. He didn't have the center roll into the basket. He kick it to the PF. PF didn't have a shot. This off of this action will be wide open all the time. All the time. Again, I don't understand why most people in the world, if they have a dominant big, don't post up in the middle of the rim. Like I see Doc Rivers do it half of the time with Embiid for the Sixers, but on all levels, I don't see people do that. Everybody want to go to the block. Posting at the block is so easy to guard. It's so easy to guard, whether 3/4 or you fronting it and you putting somebody on the back end. It's so easy to guard. Stop doing that. Just stop doing it. All right, post your bigs right in front of the rim. You can't double that, especially if you got shooters on these corners. You can't double that. All right, that's what I would look for. All right, but that's me. Just getting into more continuity out of that, right? So I say the first. So this is how I run the horns to start, right? This is how I run horns to start. But I do it that way all because I want to set it up with other things. All because I want to set it up with other things. All right, so let's say, okay, we running that. We running that all the time. We running that all the time. All right. We running it that way all the time. You know, keep running it. Now I want to go personnel driven. Now I want to get certain people to basketball, because I see a mismatch. All right. I see a mismatch. So let's say we start in the same alignment, okay? Let's say shooting guard and small forward go through the same way. Oh, and another thing about that, when shooting guard and small forward go through the same way, this is another thing. This is a quick hitter, all right? You pass it to the power forward or the center, you look for that back cut right away. You give it to them. You'll get that a couple times a game if you run the offense the way that you're running it. All right, it'll catch the defense off guard because they're not used to that. You're running it a certain way, repetitively, doing it all the way, all the way. It's just like a play action pass. You're doing it the same way the whole time, and bang, you hit them with that. You know, them couple backdoor cuts, it changes a lot with the score. All right, that might be 4 to 6 points added to your total score. That might win you the game. All right, and even more importantly than that, it's giving the defense something else to think about. And that's what you want to get. All right, so but right here, so let's say we're trying to get somebody the ball. I want to get my center. My center ain't get a touch yet, man. My center ain't get a touch yet. Okay, very simple. Give to the power forward. Center roll in front of the rim. Roll in front of the rim, because what's going to happen is the guy that's guarding the center, he's already on your backside, right? So if this is a dominant center, a guy that could really score, all right, if he's already on your backside and you roll the proper way and you get that PF the ball, it's nothing he could do. It's nothing he could do. All right, real simple way just to get some of your players involved. Don't overcomplicate this game, okay? And I'm doing this against man. You can do this against zone as well. You could do this against zone as well. If this was a zone, right? If this was a zone, he rolled right in front of the rim, right over top of the center in the zone. A simple way. All right, just to get a quick look. You know, the opposing team going a 6-0 run. You know, you need a bucket. There you go. There you go. Real simple things, man. Real simple things. All right. And I mean, anybody that know me know I like to post a lot. Like, and if with mismatches, I like to post a lot with mismatches. And if I could post with guards, that's even better. That's even better. So let's say you got a guard that's good out here at posting at the rim. You know, let's explore their strengths. Explore their strengths. It's sort of the same thing. You give to the PF. Excuse me. You give to the PF. Small forward acting like you go through now. Bam. You seal right at the rim. Simple things. Simple things. I saw that small forward with a mismatch. Let's explore it. Let's explore it. All right. You need a bucket. Let's explore it. All right. Really simple things. Really simple things. Okay. This basketball thing don't have to be hard, fellas. It doesn't have to be hard. Okay. And then the last thing I'll show you for right now, and let's say you want to switch up positions. All right, now you want to get freaky with it. You want to put people, let's say you want to put the shooting guard in here, put the center out, you know, and do some things different in here. Again, it's a trillion things you could do with this offense. Okay, let's say you want to move the PG over and do a double stagger. Not a double stagger, but a double ball screen at the top of the key. All right, a double ball screen at the top of the key is hard enough to guard on his own if you got the personnel. All right, the PG coming off of this, that's hard enough to guard if you got the personnel. All right, but let's say for the sake of this, again, PG come off, small forward go through to get out, PG come off, bam. You run this a couple times a game. All right, he come off acting like he's going to score, but that's just a decoy. PF come back, set one for the shooting guard come out. You send that flare pass, you're going to have an open shot. All right, especially late games. All right, because people overplay that one side so well. Okay, especially late games, you'll have an open shot doing something like that. But again, I'm just giving y'all a option. All right, it's a trillion things you can do in this offense. And no, I didn't create this offense, but this is another thing for coaches. All right, so like, steal everything as a coach. Steal everything that you can. Okay. Don't have pride in taking other people's stuff. That's idiotic. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Take everything from another coach that you see. I don't care if it's a 6th grade coach. Take it. All right. Tweak it the way that you need to do it to fit your personnel. That's very important. Very important. But take it. Take everything. Did I create the Horns offense? No. But you damn sure I'm going to take it because it's something that I could use with my team. All right. So subscribe to the channel. Anything that y'all want me to go over that y'all see, let me know. But other than that, you know, let's get better, fellas. Talk to y'all soon.